Hello, everyone. Welcome to What If Deku, Villain or Hero? I couldn't think of a proper title to start this video, so I did the best combination I can think of. What if Midoriya had a quirk that was able to see through 4 different timelines? His own. If he died, if he became a villain in the canon timeline. Of course, though, give or take, similar to Batman Who Laughs. Able to see every single version of himself in the timelines he has created. The only difference is that Midoriya is not evil, nor a villain, nor hero, nor good. Only a person who is trying to understand the power he has been given. And this power, this beautiful power, will be called the sight of truth, darkness, and good. The sight of truth. All the negativities and all the positives about each timeline. He's able to tell if you're lying, if you're telling the truth, how you feel at that certain moment in time. He's able to see other timelines of himself, what could have been, or what is, or what could inevitably be. Every choice, every action you take opens up a whole nother possibility outcome. Each word you speak can create an entire new timeline. This version of Midoriya, unlike canon, it is special. As we go to the very beginning, Midoriya was born quirkless. Hisashi was nowhere in sight, leaving 3 years before the actual, annunciation. Left before they were born, you can say. Or at least 3 years until the main events actually occur. When he was born, Hisashi was nowhere in sight. Nothing but dust in his wake. Of course, the first year, Inko was declared pregnant. Of course, as usual. By the second year, he would have been working overseas, having somewhat communication with Inko. Well, Midoriya would be in a crew. And finally, it would be the time. Midoriya would be 2. Or technically 3, but yeah. Midoriya would be 3 by this time. And there's no conversation with Hisashi at all. Not any money or anything, you can say, that involved Hisashi. Meaning that Hisashi, unlike the canon version, there's nothing. No information, no name, no nothing. Of course, Midoriya, he had no quirk at this time. Not one little quirk. Inevitably, his personality would be a lot more heroic, you would say. And he's no lift down, you can say. Unlike Bakugo, or his canon self, he actually fights back against Bakugo. And actually does a very well job at doing so. Proving Bakugo wrong that he can become a villain at a very young age. Or, sorry, not villain, become a hero at a very young age. This would start to worry Bakugo. He is worried that Midoriya might, if he does anything stupid or anything like that, he might get himself killed doing heroic work without a quirk. So what does Bakugo do? He tries his best to change Midoriya's mind through physical contact, you can say. And as you see, it's not the good type. Midoriya would always be brought burns, third-degree burns. Unlike the canon Bakugo, this Bakugo would actually care a lot about Midoriya, as if it was his own brother. So doing this hurts him more emotionally than it is to anyone else. Almost like an Itachi and Sasuke. It must be done to protect those you love. Bakugo, he hated doing this. But at the same time, others around him weren't helping at all. Being cocky, but at the same time caring for someone is very hard. Trying to pick out which one's which. Bullying or a sort of protection. Midoriya would be very confused at this point. And Bakugo would lose all sense of morale, you would say. In the midst of being treated like a god by his peers, he would lose his true purpose and goal about Midoriya, and naturally just start bullying Midoriya just because, instead of actually trying to weirdly protect him in a sort of way. It was always on his mind, but never closely anymore. By this time, it was the time that Midoriya got his evaluation of his quirk. Quirkless, as usual. The only difference is that the only thing that was different between him and others is that his brainwaves were getting some different readings than natural people, you would say. Usually how people are one brain-sided, Midoriya was double brain-sided. Meaning he can use both parts of his brain at same capacity at the same time. Which, for him, was exhilarating for learning. Not just that, was he able to come up with A's and answers for every sort of subject. Mathematics, social studies, science, gym, anything you can think of, any sort of mathematical or any school-like activities, he would be aced in. Of course, though, he would know he would have to be physically fit to match this description to become a hero. So he asked his mom earlier in the timeline to get him certain foods. Or foods that give him more iron and other nutrients a lot more faster. Doing this, Midoriya would drain a lot of his stamina while training. He would notice that his durability isn't very high at all. Every time he tries to go beyond and try to push up his limits, he would always find a way to break his bones. Which inevitably, with brittle bones, he inevitably went through hell trying to train physically. And by the time it was the 6th time of breaking his bones, he would inevitably be compared to the strength of Bakugo, physically. And even so, the durability was just like stamina. He would have to increase it all dramatically if he wanted to become a hero. Figure out every way, every tactic. Either by range, short range, mid-range, melee attacks, anything. So he went to study very, very harshly. He studied every type of tactical way of fighting when it comes to weaponry. Or just stats in general. What type of person, quirks, or any type of fighting style they had. Of course, Midoriya was, as Bakugo got stronger, that physical feats that Midoriya gained became nothing. Since Bakugo didn't just have the working out capabilities naturally stronger than Midoriya, but will also have his quirk to increase his wrist strength. Which will mean that Midoriya's knowledge will be out numerous. His knowledge will be at that point where it's almost getting dangerously for his own being. Knowing things he shouldn't know. He's going on that border where if he does things, he can find out practically anything. Just with enough information and enough time. Enough days and weeks to study. Midoriya is now 10. And even though his physical feats are nothing to Bakugo every year, Bakugo does see the results dramatically from Midoriya. And this only gives him angrier, trying to help Midoriya on certain occasions. But yet, having Midoriya pass through and prove Bakugo wrong over and over again, Bakugo's worrying would start to increase dramatically. And he would start to use more force with Midoriya. This would have Midoriya try even harder and inevitably get him in the worst possible shape. He would practically be bruises, burns, everything every day, just trying to be what he can do. And inevitably, the day that has come for all to know. Midoriya is 15 years old, the end of middle school. And we all know what can happen. Bakugo's cockiness out-compressed All Mights and all others. Same as his ego. But at the same time, always having that heart for Midoriya. Having that relationship, brother-like relationship. Midoriya was always there for him when he needed it. Bakugo is trying to do the same, but somehow can't. Ending up Midoriya having a miserable life. Even so, sometimes Midoriya would have so much determination, so much just everything. He would be so determined and so happy to move on and try new things and other things like that. His durability, determination will just be like a zombie's. His eyes will even start to glow at some points, or people will just think it's just some sort of shining on the sun that Midoriya's eyes have from some light. But once a light grows, it must fall as well. As Bakugo and Midoriya land, or not land, but walk up to the roof, Bakugo, trying to keep up with Midoriya's rapid successing of himself, kind of has him overuse his quirk, unable to know how strong he's really become. Since he's always trying to compete with Midoriya and always getting higher than him, he always has to keep it up. But never really truly looking at the results he himself has. So when, he applies for UA, that was Bakugo's snapping point. I'm trying to protect you. Why are you trying to become a hero? It would get you killed. There's nothing for you. You will get made fun of. If you think I'm bad, look at everyone else. Look how they treat normal people like you. You don't have a quirk. There's no purpose for you. I'm only trying to help. Don't do this. As Midoriya would decline, I do this for myself, Bakugo. No one else. I become a hero to help people. It's hard to explain. I do this to help people generally. I don't care for fame, money, or anything. I generally just want to help people. People like me. People who are misunderstood. People who get underestimated just because of what type of quirk they have, weak quirk, or just quirkless in general. Those people who are in my zone get mistreated so very much often. It's just... That's it. If I can't get you down, then I'll do it forcefully. As Bakugo will launch a hand towards Midoriya's face. Bakugo trying to spark a small explosion, ending up in a catastrophic explosion. One so big, it sends the gates on top of the roof flying. Same with a body. And a very big handprint on Midoriya's face. Due to Midoriya's durability and facts that he generally on a daily basis messes with Bakugo's explosions, does survive the interaction, but is not at all conscious. In fact, most of his bones are probably broken from the face and has some head skull fractures from his ear and other ways. Deaf in one ear and probably blind as well. With a couple of broken ribs being flung that fast, probably broken ankles both, and probably fractured skull, either completely or just the entire side of the face fractured. And when Bakugo ran as he could, he was scared. He wanted to go check up on Midoriya, but he was forced by his, praisers to run away. As he's forced and pushed by them to run away. Midoriya's left there. As people go around but inevitably walk off, knowing that a lot of people know him as just quirkless. Of course, some people do try to help and call the police or anything, but as soon as they hear the description quirkless, they do send some sort of ambulance there. But inevitably, as the ambulance, there is someone else in the ambulance with him. A name by Dr. Ochiko. Dr. Ochiko knows this child won't survive the next 30 minutes or hour. So he gives one person a call. Midori, over these 15 years, had to endure so much pain and torment through his life. So many names being called, so many descriptions, so many rocks, other things, and even spitting in his face. He has got up from all of it, and if it wasn't for the fact that he was bullied on a daily basis, he would have died right then and there. But due to his overwhelming willpower, he at least has 30 minutes to an hour to survive. Or give or take an entire day, 24 hours to survive. But knowing that the hospital doesn't have enough time or anything to actually get everything set up for him to survive, or due to technically him being quirkless, he wouldn't have natural things that can naturally help him with anything. And knowing that normal supplies are rare but are able to be used. But since it's active right now, it doesn't seem like it's being too good. Or at least that's what the doctors say. He has 24 hours to live, if not giving any medical treatment. But Dr. Ochiko knows he only has few hours to survive. As he makes a call. Hello, yeah. I have someone that might help. As this will be the time, a bit after, All Might and All for One had their fight. Midori would have, or sorry, not Midori, but All for One would have gained quirks that can mess with memories and other things. He can also change some parts of his body, like hair, eyes, or at least used to. Since, of course, he had no longer has hair, the quirks to him are useless. He does have memory-looking quirks and other quirks like that. Unique quirks, you could say. Of course, since it is my hero, they are a bit weak. They only work on those who are either nearly conscious, have weak willpower, or generally, just, dead. As Dr. Ochiko is running through the examination, yes, giving Midori more time and actually stabilizing him, sincerely. Half of Midoriya's, or practically Midoriya's clothes will be burnt to a crisp due to the giant explosion. And as soon as Midoriya, I'll say All for One has a lot of unique quirks. So if I say anything that might be out of place, just think of it as a quirk from All for One's side. Instantly as Midoriya would get out, All for One would instantly feel a presence. This would be a presence called willpower presence, or willpower presentation. This quirk would be able to sense others with willpower, almost like a power scanner, but with willpower. As soon as he would, feel this presence just almost as much as his, surprisingly enough, as this would be a favor from Dr. Ochiko, as this boy would be given to All for One. All for One will have his hand on the boy's chest, trying to help him survive. As then he would look through the boy's memories. I'm so sorry, my child. As memories of him as Hisashi Midoriya, the memory reality, or memory erasing quirk, another memory messing quirk hit, and he looks through the memories of Midoriya and sees his face, or at least a picture of his face with green hair. This will be before the All for One, One for All fight. My poor, poor boy. I'm sorry that they did this to you. I shouldn't have taken it for granted. As he would look and feel Midori's personality through his memories, I inevitably give Midori a quirk. I would give you a gift, since no other quirk can suit you, and I feel like any other quirk I would give you would put your body in too much strain that it would kill you. So for now, I would give you this quirk. A very powerful one in that, the sign of truth. Midori would be able to see many timelines. As an all for one's care, he would be put in a coma for 10 months. Where am I? Who? What? Where? As Midori would hear a bell ring. Izuku, come on. As Midori would run downstairs, and then hug his mother, but phasing through his mother. Seeing himself hugging his mother, which is oddly confusing. This being a timeline or a dreamscape. This dreamscape is the death of a very well-powered hero. What if Bakugo was nice to Midori? What if he'd gone through it the wrong way? Instead of trying to stop Midori from becoming a hero, what if he helped Midori become a hero, become stronger? Of course, the bullying would have still continued. It would be after middle school. On that rooftop, Bakugo would say the same things, and Midori would actually, have Bakugo believe that he can do this, that he can become a hero. And generally mean it, that there is nothing wrong that can happen to him. As Bakugo and him would train, day by day, night by night, Midoriya confused on what this place is. It's him, but at the same time not him. And why is Bakugo so nice? What? Midoriya being confused beyond any belief. This would generally confuse him over this time span of years. But what seems for years to Midoriya is actually just hours or just days and weeks in the coma. Inevitably, he would meet Class 1A, inevitably. Entrance exam, meets Uraka. Bakugo still cocky, but a bit nicer. Is only cocky when people tell him that he's a bit soft. And of course, where am I now? Hey, about time you're awake. Come on, get up. We gotta rob a bank. As you know, inevitably Midori wakes up, but this time he's inside his own body, but not his body. He'll wake up with a hood over his head, red eyes glowing in the mirror, as he would see an unfamiliar face next to him in bed. As a laugh will start coming from Izuku, as if he's not in control of the body, but inside, almost seeing first point of view while not controlling the body. Well, why not? Let's create some chaos. This would be a villainized version of Midoriya. One that is not sinister, but generally evil. He tried to give heroism a citizenship and just naturally just watching a chance. He is sick of just being underestimated. He is sick of those who bully, those who see everything as their own playthings when they're own heroes. They see the downfalls of society directly. This Midoriya would have a quirk, but it wouldn't be truth side. This version of Midoriya's quirk, it is weird. It has him hop, like teleportation. Think of it as more of a, how would you say, it's very weird to explain. Every time he jumps, he can teleport rapidly. And when I mean rapidly, I mean he's able to teleport instantaneously. Without fail. Of course, at first, when Midoriya in this timeline first got this quirk, or, had this quirk, it made him sick. Very. Almost like Uraraka's, but worse. Due to his atoms being, spliced and then, instantly ending up in another place in another time. And inevitably teleporting. This inevitably got Midoriya very, very sick at first. But inevitably, as he used it, his stomach and immune system will be so strong, a lot of, nothing would really get him sick. His molecules would be jumping place to place rapidly. Meaning that his strength and internal organs are very much stronger than the average human being by miles. And in fact, no one has actually seen this version of Midoriya's face. Of course, you'd be confused on what? What? Come on, babe. We're gonna be late. Dobby's gonna be mad. And plus, we need some cash for food. Midoriya would be confused himself, but the other Midoriya, that's actually in control of the body, would start walking. I'm coming. I'm just thinking of memories. As he would see those memories being bullied by Katsuki. Midoriya is practically a classical villain. He's not that evil, but at the same time, he's pretty evil and actually has a lot of backstory to actually, truthfully have people be sad for him. He hasn't, actually killed anyone, but, a villain who not kills. And in fact, he's the only one that makes it not kills. But a lot of villains see this as a weakness, but, Midoriya in the underground has a lot of... He may not kill you, but definitely Batman steal your bones and, you still live, practically. So yeah, this version of Midoriya is very brutal. At least they're in combat, but doesn't kill them. As he would open the door and see the sun shining. Oh my god. Am I me? What happened? Young Midoriya, eat this. As this will be the beginning of the canon timeline. With the determination that he has, this Midoriya's wholesomeness, he sees what could have been. Why isn't this me? Why couldn't I have this happy ending? Or beginning? Or even story at all? This will make Midoriya furious. But at the same time, he would see in me a lot of people. Meaning that mentioning out of the coma, he can't see himself in a coma, he can't move. since his quirk's kind of, kind of helping him with the entire, brain, parts of his brain were, a little damaged. So, to put him in a coma, his quirk is kind of transferring his consciousness so he won't do any damage or can help heal his brain faster. And also so he won't feel any pain with the surgeries that they're trying to fix his skull and everything with. So yeah. He would notice. Mentioning out of the coma, he knows none of these people. He don't know rock or anything. The only reason he knows their names and what they look like is because these are actual timelines he's going to. Or technically in a dream stasis, able to travel to different timelines. Or at least look at the events of what could and could not have happened. He does know that with different possibilities comes a different outcome. He knows that in the canon universe, All For One isn't his father at all. And all the other ones, the villain deku, Inca wasn't his mother. And, with the other one, where Midoriya died, he was adopted. As of course, these all timelines have different beginnings and cause different effects. But yet they all have one thing in common. They all scribe. They all tend on one thing. They all focus on their past to make them a better person. Yes, for others, on third points of views or third party, they may be different from how they see themselves, but how they see themselves is that they make themselves better by using their past as almost a symbol that they can move on and try even harder for themselves. An inspiration. Well, I'll see. As there's a voice in the shadows beneath everything. A fading entity that is just fading in and out of existence. Just viewing, having very little time to exist, and inevitably vanishing. As Midoriya is going through all these timelines for the next 10 months, he would notice things. Okay, as you know, inevitably, he does, take notes. Somehow. I'll say, since it is his own brain, he is able to kind of conjure up a notepad, or at least... It's not a notepad, it's more of his brain. So he kind of writes this permanently in his brain, kind of like a photographic memory. With, like, every detail and everything. I see. Ah. So. This is what it looks like. This is what it is. Okay, so if I make this choice goes in that. If I make this choice is that choice is this. If he chooses this equals that. Equals there equals where. Okay. After the 10 months, his informational brain, Dr. Ochiko will realize that his brain is dramatically evolving to the point where he can practically predict and feel what's wrong, if a person can lie, if they're lying, if they're telling the truth, if anything's wrong with them, practically reading a person like a book. Able to figure out what is what, practically being the ultimate person who could read anything off of a person. If it's emotion, any type of emotion or anything, he can read it. If it's a regret, he'll find it out. If anything, he knows. He doesn't know exactly what it is, but he knows the basics that, yeah, you're feeling this type of way for this reason. Or maybe some sort of, reason of this reasoning. Meaning that his IQ is growing dramatically. And inevitably, he's able, while he's in a dimension or this dreamscape, that doesn't stop him from entering all the other ones at the same time. So meaning that while, he's watching this, he's also, in the back of his mind, he's unable to pay attention to basic details. But writing it down slowly but surely. Paying attention to one timeline at a time as he switches the point of view. It's a random point of view at the time. Meaning that while he's doing this, he can't pay attention to one necessary thing. He's paying attention to multiple and writing them down on inside of his brain. Making sure that he knows everything, and inevitably creates a sort of library inside of his brain, writing all of these books, titling all of these books specifically on what happened on this day and everything. Making an entire thing on all of these timelines' lives. At least all the way to the, I'll say, give or take, at least one arc has already passed. Give or take. In each of the timelines, one arc has already passed. Either the training arc or something. For, Canon Deku's training arc, for himself, nothing's really, changed, but yeah. We go to the villainous Deku, villainous Deku that doesn't kill is, probably making his presence known. Because Bakugo, in this timeline, Bakugo is a hero, and in fact, he's the #1 hero. Or at least that's what his future is. As no, he's just here to just be free, honestly. This villainous Deku's freed from all unhinged, he has no restraints controlling him. Doesn't care what anybody thinks, doesn't care of anything. Except for a certain few, and certain things he has most. As you know, in the overhaul fight, Midoriya dies. And he sees his own death. Protecting Bakugo. In this timeline, Bakugo was in the fight with Midoriya. And inevitably, in a blank, space, overhaul threw a giant thing at him. Rocks. Midoriya, Kachan, inevitably gets impaled by, the wires and whatnot. By the metal structures, so yeah. Inevitably saving Bakugo's life. Bakugo, by this point, is determined to become more, and, is focused on becoming the #1 hero, so none of these things will ever happen. And before Midoriya can even die, I choose you, meaning that he passes the quirk to Bakugo. And for some reason, this doesn't actually affect Bakugo's lifespan at all. As now, going through the timeline, he sees all the possible events of his death in this timeline, or death timeline, which I call it. And inevitably goes through the other two, mainly only having the death timeline for notes to see what he can change to save himself and those around him. As now he goes to the other timelines and mainly focuses on them after, taking notes. Villainous Deku takes a lot of notes. All of them he takes notes, and inevitably becomes practically very fast thinker, able to think of about 5 things at a time. What's happening now, what could happen, what, choice that can be difficult, what can happen, what is happening, what will happen, or could, or possibly what choices can be different to avoid. Practically, what actions can be taken to involve it even further. Different ways of seeing something is the different point of views. He's prospectively have 5 point of views. First, second, third, fourth, or technically just 3, but you know what I mean. First party, second party, and third party. the point of views, and of course, the things seeking attention to are 5 things at once, which is the limit. Meaning that, you know, to get his attention, you know, he's usually, you know, always dozing off, but to get his attention, you gotta, you know, you hear? As you know, he would instantly go to the first point of view while also paying attention to other things. So he's very giggity about things, and all a couple of other things. As now, we go to when Midori wakes up. Where am I? Who am I? Where? Oh wait, no, I'm Mizuka. Yeah, Mizuka Midori. Okay, yeah, I'm me. Okay, I'm finally out of the coma. Okay, good. Okay, I'm out of the coma. Where am I though? All I remember faded into other timelines. Hold up. Okay, got hit by Bakugo. Bakugo running away, being pushed by others. I fell. I was swarming. Kind of somewhat died. And then went to a coma. There's like a blank space in that. I can't remember what happened. Where he got his quirk a bit before he got his quirk and after he got his quirk is a bit, you know, blank. It's blank. So yeah. So this happened. Okay, so I fell. My face hurt. I'm on the ground. Everything goes a bit black. After, I see I'm in some sort of metal bed thing. Having this weird doctor not experiments, but do some type of thing with me, fixing my brain and whatnot. Okay, wait, hold up. Specific words. How do I say specific words? What was the name? I'm thinking of multiple timelines at the same time. What was the name? Procedures, yeah. Yeah, procedures. Yeah. After the procedures, fixing my brain and whatnot, fix my face, brain, yeah, whatever it is. Pretty sure it's gonna be a permanent scar on my face of that hand, but it is what it is. Second time he can hero timeline, villain timeline, dead timeline, main timeline, and point of view of all of them. Like on a chair with multiple monitors looking at every timeline. On a desk writing notes. Am I alive? I'm alive. Okay, okay, I am alive. Okay, wait, can I control it? Slaps himself. Ow! Okay, I can definitely see why. Okay, I am definitely in control. Wow. How long has it been? I have no idea. Don't even know where I am. All I know is that I kind of blanked out at the ambulance. After that, blackout. No memory of what happened. After that, I kind of saw open door going into this area, blinding lights, procedure happening, other timelines, and probably that's all. Yeah. Okay, so I am in my timeline, or at least my sort of whatever I am in. Okay, I am in my life. Okay, good. I control myself. I do everything. Okay, good. Whew, it's kind of weird not controlling your body. Oh, but yeah, at the same time, it is here. But anyways, enough of everything. Let's see, where am I? As you know, while Midori is muttering to himself very, very fastly about, like, all the things he knows. Well, it seems that hold up, let me get the voice down. Well, it seems that you have survived the procedure. Interesting. From doing the procedure, it looks like your brain has expanded dramatically due to these brain waves on the scanner. Your bones as well have been defined to a very compressed rate. And your mind, sight, and everything has dramatically increased. Maybe it is due to the quirk here. Oh, Master Awful One has given you. Master who? As he tries a thing called for our memories. Let me go through my memories real quick. And then just stays quiet and just like puts his fist in the ball and it kind of puts it on his chin like memories. Go through the memories. Okay, hold up. Before that, I was on a stretcher, brung inside this weird room with pods, with a throne in it. I was on the throne. Can't normally see the face. At least I don't think I saw the face. It was more like a blur. And then all I feared was like this red burning sensation on my chest, coughing a bit. And then having that giant burn mark on my face, morely, on the pain, instead of the burning sensation. Oh, so you mean that dude that kind of looks like, inner cactus? I think? Nah, that'd be me to call him, before I talk, what should I say? How to be nice to a person who looks like a very weird avocado? Nope, I'm not gonna say Fred Cougar, that's disrespectful. How do I say this in a nice way? As he's gathered the personalities of all of them, so he's kind of... It's weird. The personality's a bit weird with this one, but at the same time, it's like a heroic villainist. More of a chaotic neutral, if you will. Okay, so, let me see. May have to go with the unknown. Who? Master Awful One. The one who helped you survive after you got that very bad burn on your face from that boy. Wait, what does he mean again? Oh yeah, Bakugo. Sorry. Kanchan? Is that what you call him? I mean, his name is Bakugo. It's just his nickname, I call him Kanchan since, me and Kanchan were friends. Boy, sorry to put this in perspective, but if a person hurts you that bad near death, then that person is no longer your friend, or never was your friend. That is right, boy. As the one and only avocado Freddy Krueger looking dude comes out of the shadows with a very cool floating chair. Using a telekinesis quirk on the chair. That is right, boy. A friend who kills you is not a friend at all, nor a friend that bullies you since childhood. I have looked through your memories, and none are pleasant to look at. Of course, though, I do have an offer. Would you like to stay here? Or would you like to go back home where you can be judged more? As inevitably, we all know who he's going to pick. He's going to pick staying, with All-For-One. He doesn't know that All-For-One's a villain, necessarily. Since technically All-For-One wasn't any other... any other timelines he saw in his head while, his quirk, using his quirk. Do I know this dude? No, I don't think so, at least. I mean, he heard the name before, but in, multiple timelines, but he hasn't, actually seen the person or has any description of the person, if he's evil, good, or anything. Sure. Yeah, sure. It looks like the quirk I gave you is doing pretty well. Very good. That is a very, very powerful quirk, young man. I hope you know what to do with it. I myself didn't have the brain capacity to use the quirk. It always gave me major headaches. Yes, indeed, I only used it for about 10 minutes, but still. 10 minutes using that quirk can be in hours in the real world. Well,
Don't worry about that, since my mentality has grown. Same with my personality. And brainwaves, I think. Anyways, thank you for saving me. I'm probably gonna take you up on the offer since I don't want to go back. So, yeah. Huh. Well. What now?
Well, when you woke up and when you were fully healed, I would, or did want you to give you a quirk, or at least a couple. So if you do choose to not obey me, or be by my side, you can at least be protected.
As you know, he doesn't want to make it obvious, especially since he does know somewhat about the quirk, where as soon as you make the wrong saying, he can instantly pick up on like, you're my father god. Yeah, practically.
I would like to give you teleportation quirk. It is called Shadow Realm. Or at least Shadow Jump. It allows you to jump within any shadow, my friend. Any shadow, and of course in like a, I think, 10-mile radius about. Very powerful quirk. Very, very powerful. Somewhat useless when it comes to, you know, shining light out of shadow, but pretty useful still. As this is where Midoriya gets his second quirk. Able to jump through any shadow, which is pretty overpowered. Yeah. Except in kind of like a fully dark room, that's kind of useless for him, but yeah. Well, okay, so... After the pain, I kind of thought, what shall we do exactly? Oh, you can live off your life. Think of me more of your guardian. I will help you and guide you on how to use your abilities.
Yes, of course, yes. What do I do, though? I'm like, bored. Sorry, the quirk, I usually have the quirk turned on when I'm, you know, doing this, but since, you know, you look very important, you save my life, I kind of have my quirk turned off, so, you know, not, you know, looking through all my, you know, whatever it's called, the quirk does to me. It's kind of gets boring when I kind of, you know, in a room alone, doing nothing, so, what do I do?
I guess you're probably sorry. I guess you're probably hungry. Here's money. You'll be able to get food and other things.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're very happy.
Why are you doing this?
I'm a very wealthy man, and very old. I am only here to help others like you.
We know this is BS because it's only nearly towards him alone, but, you know, at least to a certain extent. I see. Anyways, thanks for the money. What should I call you? Because I feel like All For One's like a long name. Let me think. Darth Vader, yeah. Sorry if it's disrespectful, but it complements your look. Sorry.
No disrespect taken.
So Darth Vader, I'ma go. I think, from what your body thing is saying, I'm probably said dead on the news. So, I need a new name. As we go to Inko. Inko very knows well that he's, I mean, she's more in the, you know, the grieving process, so she doesn't know, but she does feel like, you know, some things there. But, you know, grieving process, as I said, so there's nothing really important about, but, you know, just saying that Inko, you know, yeah. Okay, back to Izuku. Huh. As you know, he does himself. You know, he does what he does, and inevitably walks out. Ha ha ha. But this is the thing. Since we're messing with timelines and all that, UA or the entrance exam doesn't start until another 10 months. Ha 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 ha. Why? Because I'll say there's some sort of villain attack on like UA. Show yes. Nothing really changes. I know. I just need more time for like the characters to get everything set. So yeah. So I'll say give or take like decent. So anyways, let's continue. Let's see. What shall I do? What shall my name be? As he's walking. What shall my name be? There's a lot of names I can be. I can be, what's a good name from a timeline that I've read? Oh yeah, I almost forgot to turn back on my quirk. As he turns back on his quirk. Black Bunny, why not? That's what my name's gonna be. Can't think of anything else, but that'd be my nickname. Where's Bunny? Might have to think of a better name, but for now, Black Bunny will have to do. Or Shadow Bunny. As you know, he starts getting closer and closer. Ooh, I got one. Bunny who laughs. As you know, think of the Batman who laughs, but you know, it's a fusion between this one over here, this suit, and this suit. So yeah. Well. Bunny who laughs. I mean, it's a pretty good name, but a bit villainous on my side, but it is what it is. I got one. And then he just walks on to like a pizza studio. I am pretty hungry though, so for now I'll turn off, or, you know, just turn off a portion of my quirk. Also, if you're wondering, this quirk technically counts as like a couple other quirks, since it's kind of like, yeah, it's a lot of quirks in one. It's kind of, you know, this is like a prototype quirk, you know, inevitably all for one kind of, you know, combined like a point of view quirk with like multiple other, you know, different weird quirks and kind of created, you know, truth, sight of truth. So yeah, he was playing, you know, playing around to be God, and, you know, inevitably creating like this ultimate quirk, which kind of, you know, gave him a giant headache after using for like 10 minutes, and then kind of, you know, yeah, let's not use that anymore. Let's say I see. As he sees, you know, as you know, he sees a very short little individual getting, you know, how would you say, they're getting robbed. A very pink-haired individual getting robbed. And no, it's not Mina, so, wait, no, was it pink? Hold on. I think it was red, like a pinkish red, hold on. To be precisely, I think it was pink. What is that color? It looks like a velvet-like color. Yeah, I think it's like a reddish velvet. Yeah, it looks like a reddish velvet. So a short person with like reddish velvet-like hair. Hey, give it back. As you know, Well, let's see what I can do with my quirks. Anyways, oh yeah, wait, why am I standing here? I should be going. So as you can see, it's like a bit more of a Deadpoolish vibe, but at the same time, less Deadpoolish. You know, more family friendly, so. Oh wait, why am I standing here? I gotta go! As you know, he chases the person, looking, you know, like a whole villain, like, bro. Don't worry, ma'am, I'll get your puss back. You know, as you know. Oh wait, I have a second quirk, I'm dumb. As you know, he uses the second quirk, you know, shadow, like, appears behind the dude's shadow, or inside the dude's shadow. Yoink! You know, kind of drags him into the shadow. I'll say he has another quirk, which is called Shadow Dimension. Yeah, Shadow Jump and Shadow Dimension. He's able to kind of push people into like a black void. Like every time you're pushed into a shadow, it creates like a black void. The void is like just black. The only way you can escape it is if you have a light on, or like some type of light. So yeah. Yeah. Or at least kind of have some sort of spark quirk. If not, then, you know, the only way you can actually escape it is if you have a third party. But yeah, kind of, you know, drag you out of it. Kind of like a pond. You gotta, you know, drag them out of the pond or whatever. As inevitably, after physically beating on the villain for like 2 minutes, like midway during walking, the villain kind of, you know, trips and, you know, and, you know, just headbutts this man right into the chest. Come on, I thought you have more than that. And, you know, inevitably just elbows this dude in the chest. Doosh! 1, 2, 3, let's go! Haha! I want. Oh. And then inevitably gets surrounded by heroes. I can explain. What's your name? Hands up! As you know, okay, I'm only here to get the woman her bag back. Chillax. I'm not here to be in. Okay, as you know, he gets pushed out. Okay, okay, don't be so aggressive. As you know, he's instantly questioned. You know, police station. Da 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 da. As you know, they question him, and you know, inevitably, personally, I don't have a. No way, he can't say this quote. You'll be, you know, given a ticket for using a quirk. You don't look like you're from around here, so I'll give you a ticket and a warning. But next time you're going to prison for using your quirk. Okay, dang. Next time I won't get caught. What was that? Nothing. I know they let him go. He gotta pay like a fine, like a $500 fine, just for helping a person. So yeah. Rip dude, because this man, remember, this man has like the built body of like the Joker laughs. He may look skinny, but he has the same strength as Bruce Wayne, Batman. Most, like, the limit of a human capability. Meaning that if he punches you, your ass gonna get some bones broken. He about to steal your bones for just bones stolen. Yeah. I mean, he's not that strong. I'm kind of just overhyping it, but he's pretty strong. Even though he looks a bit skinny, he's still pretty strong. Like, real. Well, that was a bit off. But anyways, where's your... Oh, wait, I was going to pizza. As inevitably, you know, at the police store, you know, La Brava is also there. Oh, thank you for getting my purse back. A bribe! It's not most what a person can do. No heroes are going to do anything. They're doing nothing. So, I mean, honestly, I'm pretty sure they're only mad because I did their job. Anyways, thank you for having my, retrieving my bag for me. Weird one. I don't know. A little weird, but yeah. Anyways, I gotta go get pizza, so bye-bye. As you know, he goes get pizza. As you know, La Brava follows. Can I repay you in any way? This is before, she met Gentle Criminal, so yeah. It'll be rude of me for you to pay for food, so I guess just a chat would do, I guess. As you know, La Brava and Midoriya would just chat. So what's your name? Ah. Hmm. Name. Buddy who laughs. Real name. Oof. Real name. Hanzo. Hanzo. Hanzo Tensho. Hanzo Tensho. Nice to meet you. That's a nice name. I mean, I know it's a nice name, but yeah. Thank you. As you know, Labrov and him, get very along. And since, Midoriya, years have been passed in his mind. So mentally, he's like, old. But, still has the personality of like a teen, though. Well, thanks for this chat, but I gotta go on my way. Oh yeah, as you know, he puts money on the table. Don't worry, not letting a woman pay for my food. It's only a gentleman thing to do. Yeah, anyways, as you know, he continues to, like, walk. As you know, he realizes, like, oh snap, my body taller. Like, like an entire, like, give or take, like 2 hours have passed. This man just realized his body has increased and everything. Like, oh, so, I'm dumb. I'm very dumb. What should I do, though? As you know, another villain, runs around, crashing into him. Come on. And then he looks up and like, come on, not another one. As you know, midway trying to get up, as you know, the villain's already running off. Someone smashes into him. Oh, not again. Oh, my back. Oh, my organs. Oh, it's on me. As you see,